In this lesson, we'll create the top part of the frame for the doors. So the piece that we're talking about here is basically, if you look from the side, we've got part of this metal that sticks up that's actually attached on the front side of this door that matches up with this opening right here. But we want it to be a separate piece. So let's look at how we can kind of add that in. All right, so what we're going to do is kind of pull this out, these edges out, right? But I want to make sure that the opening here is as sharp as we need it to be. Now, if we smooth this, you can see it's a little bit too soft. So one of the things we can do is add maybe another line right up in here. Okay, so we can grab these edges and go to connect. And then we can add one line and just slide it in there. Okay, and then we can maybe just tweak this a little bit. Same thing on the back. We can do the same thing up here on the top. And because this curve is so gentle, I don't think it's going to affect our shape too much if we add another line in there. Let's go ahead and say OK to that. And now if we smooth this out, it should be pretty a lot harder. So that's going to work fine for us. And now what we want to do, I'm going to just go ahead and check and make sure that my verts haven't gotten off here. That's going to be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and do this in kind of in sections here. So let's take these edges, basically all the edges on the back end here. Okay, and I want to go ahead and just shift, copy those forward, basically to the width that you want our we want our door to be. Okay, so something like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the vertex that's up here, kind of move it down and back a little. Same thing right here. Move it down. Okay, and we want to make sure that it stays kind of planar with the rest of the door. So I'll go ahead and grab that and move it back in. Okay, and now for the top, we'll go ahead and grab those edges. Okay, and for this, we'll grab all these edges, and let's go ahead and just stop. Maybe stop at this point. Okay, we'll go ahead and just pull those down. Okay, and we need to make sure that we pull them out too, so they're not just straight down. So we'll go ahead and just pull those out and just match up this angle right here. So something like that will be just fine. And then we'll take these vertices here, these two, and let's go ahead and weld those together. Okay, so you end up with something like that. And you can move this over if you want to. Just kind of make that a little bit cleaner. Okay, and then we can do the same thing over here. Just because this is at a little different angle, you might want to do this separately. It's kind of up to you. So I'll go ahead and pull that out. And then pull this so that it kind of matches up there. Okay. And you want it to be kind of the same thickness all the way around, as far as the width there. Okay, we'll go select both of these vertices and just weld those together. So that gives us this ridge. If you have your geometry already out to that point, so if your geometry was sticking out that far, you could just go ahead and draw that in instead of copying those edges out. You could do that as well. So either way will work, really. Okay, so now that we have the door frame drawn out, we can just simply select those polygons. Okay, come in here and select all of these polygons that we created. Okay, and now we can just detach those. So go to Edit Geometry and Detach. Then we can call this simply door frame, and we'll say OK. And now we have a door frame piece that's separate, but that matches up with the rest of our geometry there. Okay, so now that we have the door frame detached, we've already added some thickness to the roof, but let's look at how we can actually add some thickness to the door frame and also some of these pieces back here and this guy right here. So we'll go ahead and add some thickness to these guys as we come in and in the next lesson.